If your arms are skinny, the solution is actually in bodyweight training, but not the kind you're doing right now. You can do 100 push-ups every day for an entire year, and your arms will still look the same at the end. The problem isn't that you're not doing enough. The problem is that you're only training half of your arms. How many guys flex in the mirror and still see baggy sleeves? You've tried almost everything that claims to build bigger arms without ever stepping foot in a gym, and it all failed for the same reason. Today, I'm going to explain why your arms aren't getting stronger, and how you can fix it using only your body weight. The first mistake, and why it's bigger than it looks. You're treating push-ups like an arm exercise, but push-ups aren't really an arm movement. They're a pushing movement. When you push, most of the load is carried by the chest, followed by the front of the shoulders. The triceps only get a little leftover work at the end of the movement. Listen carefully because almost no one tells you this. Your arm isn't one muscle, it's 4. Biceps, triceps, shoulders, and forearms. Out of those 4, push-ups only lightly involve one of them. The other 3 are completely missing, especially the one you care about most, the biceps. The biceps work when you bend your elbow in a pulling motion, or when you're bringing something toward your body. In a push-up, you're pushing the floor away. There's no pulling involved, so you can train for months or even years, and your biceps never get called into action. The triceps also don't get the stimulus they need, and that's even worse, because the triceps are the bigger muscle of the arm, but they're larger than the biceps. When someone looks at you from the side and thinks you look trained, they're looking at the back of your arm, not just the biceps peak. The second mistake that actually keeps you stuck. Your idea of progress. Today, you do 40 push-ups. Next week, 45. Next month, 60. You think you're getting stronger because the numbers are going up, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're building muscle. It can simply mean you've become more enduring. You're basically doing cardio for your arms. Muscle grows when it faces sufficient tension. If you can casually crank out 40 continuous reps, that stimulus may no longer be challenging enough to drive much additional muscle growth. Your body has adapted to it. That's why people who do 100 push-ups a day for years and see zero change aren't necessarily failing because they aren't working hard enough. They're failing because they're missing the right kind of training and the right combination of movements. The move that actually changes things. Chin-ups, underhand grip, palms facing toward you, not away from you. That one small detail of flipping your wrist changes the emphasis. Regular pull-ups with an overhand grip mainly train the back while the arms assist. When you turn your palms toward yourself, the biceps and forearms become much more involved. This is the bodyweight version of a biceps curl. A curl is simply bending the elbow with a dumbbell. Here, you're also bending the elbow, but instead of lifting an 8 kilos dumbbell, you're moving a large portion of your body weight. No beginner can just pull their entire body weight up right away, but the load is there the moment you hang from the bar. To count as a full rep, your chin should clear the bar, and your arms should return to a controlled, nearly straight position at the bottom. I see a lot of people doing half reps, stopping before completing the full range of motion. Half reps don't automatically mean 0 results, but if you can safely perform a controlled full range of motion, that's generally the better target. If you can't do a single full chin-up yet, that's completely fine. There's a better option than just staring at the bar. Jump up or use a stable platform so your chin is over the bar. Then lower yourself slowly for 3 to 5 seconds. That eccentric phase is highly effective because you can control a load that may be too difficult to lift concentrically. 4 or 5 high-quality sets of these can create far more useful training than repeatedly attempting sloppy reps. If even that is too hard, start with inverted rows. Use rings, a barbell secured in a rack, or another sturdy setup. Lie underneath it, palms facing you. Body straight like a plank and pull your chest toward the bar. The more horizontal your body is, the harder it gets. The more vertical you are, the easier it becomes. If someone told me I could only pick one arm exercise for the rest of my life, I would choose this one without hesitation. One more thing you need to hear. You can build solid arms and still never see them. Clearly because they're covered by a layer of body fat. The muscle is there, but the appearance doesn't change as much as you expect. That's why some people train for a year, get noticeably stronger, and still look skinny in photos. If that's you, understand this. It isn't a dead end, and it isn't necessarily a willpower problem. No one ever taught you how to train properly. Now you have the missing movement. But one exercise alone won't build a complete arm. There are still other muscles, and one of them is what helps make your arms look wider from the front. The complete plan. Here's the full sequence of 5 exercises done in order. 1. Chin-ups, underhand grip, 4 sets of 6 to 12 reps. Do these first while you're freshest. They give you a big return. If you can't do full reps yet, use the eccentric version and lower yourself for 3 to 5 seconds. Toins parallel bar dips, a strong bodyweight triceps builder. Lower until your elbows are around 90 degrees. Keep your shoulders controlled. Then press up until your arms are fully extended. That's where the triceps really work. Do 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps. If it's too hard, use an easier variation or assistance rather than forcing poor form. 3. Close grip push-ups. Place your hands around shoulder width or slightly narrower. And keep your elbows tucked close to your body, so the triceps take more of the load instead of relying mainly on the chest. Do 10-20 reps. Progress to diamond push-ups if they feel comfortable and your wrists tolerate them. Do 3 sets of 10-20 reps. 4 pike push-ups. For shoulders, place your hands on the floor and raise your hips so your body forms an inverted V. Lower your head toward the ground between your hands while maintaining control. Do 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. 5 dead hangs. Simply hang from the bar. This trains your forearms and grip, the often forgotten part of the arm, and supports your other pulling exercises. Do 2 to 3 sets of 20-40 seconds. When that becomes easy, progress carefully to more challenging grip variations. Train this plan 2 to 3 times per week, never on consecutive days. Rest about 1 minute between sets, and around 1.5 minutes for chin-ups, and dips if you need the extra recovery. What makes the plan work is progressive overload. Add reps within the target range. Once you hit the top of the range, slow the lowering phase to around 3 seconds. When that becomes easy, move to a harder variation. Otherwise, you may plateau the same way you did with regular push-ups. Training only sends the signal. Food supplies the material. The key number is protein, around 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. Per day is a commonly used range for people training to build muscle. If you weigh 75 kilo, that's roughly 120-165 grams. Whether it comes from chicken, eggs, meat, fish, beans, or a supplement doesn't matter as much as hitting your overall nutrition needs consistently. The most overlooked factor, rest. You challenge the muscle during training. Growth and repair happen during recovery and sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours most nights. One bad night won't ruin everything, but months of consistently sleeping only 5 hours a night can seriously hurt your recovery and performance. That's why training arms every single day doesn't automatically speed up growth. It can actually slow your progress if you don't give your muscles enough time to recover between hard sessions. If you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe for more bodyweight training and fitness tips.